the real takeaway from all this is Eternals is pretty good.
Oh, fuck. Eternals. Yes.
Okay.
Anyways.
Okay, so we're finally
feel
gonna do the
about Superman?
Eternals review. That was okay. We'll start one by one. Icarus, right?
Icarus.
Flew too close to the sun.
Yes.
And Sprite, that was pretty funny. I prefer
Sprite.
Coke, but
Yeah.
I liked how it was kind
I
of
prefer
funny.
7-Up.
Actually, no, I like Fanta better. I take it back. I like
You like
Fanta.
Nazi Coke.
I do like Nazi Coke better. Someone clip that.
Nazi Coke.
Okay. Shasta then.
Shasta.
Orange Shasta. There.
Orange
Before you're
Shasta.
canceled. Okay. Yeah. Sprite. It was funny how Sprite was the one making all the stories, and they were like, "Ha, she made the stories." Like, yeah, I see what you did there, right? But Icarus, he was really fucking cool as like as the Superman of the group. It was like very imposing, very stoic. But then at the end, when he's like, spoiler alert! Oh, if you haven't seen Eternals,
Spoiler for Eternals.
it's been a month already since
It's been about
Eternals
a month.
came out.
Yeah.
We're doing a very late review, but hey, this
Very
is-
late.
this is what
Better
you
late
got.
than never.
Exactly.
You're watching a podcast with like 3 people watching it, so you know you get what you sign
you
up
get
for.
what you fucking deserve.
Exactly.
So yeah, and you guys can send in stuff at any time. Email broketillfridaypodcast@gmail.com for your questions, your suggestions, your rants, your questions. I said questions twice. And so
I don't know. I'm just like making faces at the camera. I'm just like,
exactly. We got the eyes over there. He's got the looks. I've got the brains. We're making lots of money. We're not making lots of money yet. It's like that one song.
one song.
Okay.
Oh,
I did that
God.
right into the microphone.
That hurt my ears. Fuck the audio listeners, I guess.
Honestly. So okay. So Icarus is very I liked how he was like kind of nimble and stuff in between the fights as opposed to Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh was cool because I feel like I could feel the weight of his hits.
Yeah,
and stuff. He was like
yeah.
like all the doom doom and like everything
Yeah.
would charge up, and he can't fly or anything, but it was still cool seeing him being like, I'm gonna fucking punch this gigantic thing right in the face and it's gonna feel it.
Yeah.
Like the weight of it, like watching in the theater, you could I'm just gonna keep repeating myself. You could feel the weight of every hit.
You could feel the
with
weight of
him,
every hit.
as opposed to Icarus, where he's kind of like, I'm gonna fly around.
Such
I'm
a good
gonna
movie. Such a
he's
good movie.
gonna hit them and stuff. But it was like,
Yeah.
it was crazy. I think okay, that was so like interesting, and like I liked what they did with Angelina Jolie, where it's like she's also a fighter, but she's got dementia now, and you're like, oh my god, like now she has to be babysat by
Yeah,
Gilgamesh,
yeah.
who was one of the other strongest ones, which just makes it more, which makes it sadder.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, when Gilgamesh dies and he's like, oh, she's like, say it, and he's like, oh, I'll find you in this life and the next, and it's like, oh, start crying, dude. That shit was sad. Even though I know some people are like, there's no character development. It's like, were you not watching the fucking movie?
Yeah.
Like, I know.
What? Hold on. No. Here's what's pissing me off.
Go.
So what people who don't like the movie either haven't watched it or are mad about the diversity in the movie.
They were review bombing it because they were like, oh my god, there's a gay couple in this
Yeah,
and like a
yeah,
bunch
yeah,
of bullshit,
yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like the Asian lady's the lead and stuff, and I was like, since I watched the movie opening night, I came out going, everyone, like, it had like a fucking 60% Rotten Tomatoes. I'm like, whoever rated it 60% is
Blind.
just like you said, is blind. Either they don't appreciate the movie for what it is, because some people went, it's just another Marvel movie, large explosion stuff, and then other people were like, it's not enough like a Marvel movie, there's too much talking and exposition. It's like, it's a fucking story. Like, you're watching a story unfold in the Marvel universe. Like, people are trying too much to think of it like it's in a superhero film, or it's not enough like a superhero film. Like, of course no one's ever gonna be happy, but
No one's ever gonna be happy.
it was a very good movie. Like, it was beautiful. There was like amazing cinematography from it, great scenes in it, how they used like the backdrop, and the humor was like good, and it wasn't too much where they're like, oh, we're gonna be in the last fight, oh, quip. No, there was no like crazy quips or anything in the last fight. It was just kind of like with
serious.
yeah,
And they dispatched the deviant like nothing.
That was my one criticism. Like, they set up the deviant being like, I am smart and stuff like that, and then he just goes and then he dies.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna escape or something, and then maybe we get something like that later on. Maybe it's gonna be like Cell, where he goes absorbing people until he gets smarter and smarter.
Yeah.
But it was like he just absorbed 2 deviants and then he got cut, and I'm like, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, that was a little unsatisfying for me. At
Okay.
least that's my criticism of it.
The only reason why I'm fine with it is
went
because I like watching the film. Like halfway through, I was like, okay, the deviant isn't the actual enemy.
Yeah.
It's the celestial that's the actual enemy. not just Celestial coming out from the ground, but like the head honcho god Celestial is the actual enemy.
Is he an enemy though? That's the whole moral quandary about the movie.
Well, that's the inside one. That's the one that's inside the Earth. I'm talking about like their boss.
No, but that's
their
no,
god.
that's what I'm saying. Is Arishem a bad
Arishem.
guy?
Yeah.
Because he's like, we will destroy this world as we've done to countless others, and we will create billions of new lives, trillions of new lives. What is
And
the
he
point of
technically owns the universe.
exactly? So
If
he's
you
the
destroy
judge.
your own computer, even if it has things living on it, are you the bad guy?
Exactly,
I mean, I
like-
guess the things on there, but like in general.
You've got cats.
Yeah.
Some of them have fleas. You kill the fleas. Are you evil?
Yeah.
Are you? I mean, I understand I'm equating like human lives with fleas, but that's what it is to Arishem.
Yeah.
And that's why he does what he does. That's why they even
Human
say,
lives basically are fleas to Arishem.
because he needs that energy to then make a bunch more lives.
Yeah.
That's
so
the whole point.
it's like are you
birth a
fine?
celestial.
Hold on, so that goes back to human life. It's like, are you fine with killing all the fleas on your cat if it means that you get to have a child?
No, I would say it's because it's think of the universe as an ecosystem, right? And you're like, I don't like these mushrooms. I got to kill them all. But if you kill the mushrooms off, then there's not going to be any fertilizer for more trees to grow. That's what it's more equatable to, I would say. Because remember, he said if you stop the convergence or the whatever it was, if you stop it from happening, a celestial will not be born, and I cannot create more lives.
Well, it's more like the celestial would create more lives.
Well, yeah, exactly.
The Tiamat, the celestial that's
Yes.
inside the Earth,
Yes.
would create more lives. But
Exactly.
it is like the whole purpose of killing all the people is so that the celestial could be born. So they are killing off a bunch of lower life forms to give birth to a higher life form.
that will then create more
will then create
lower,
more
life,
lower
forms,
life
but
forms.
then it spawns more and more and more, which
Yeah.
is the cycle of the universe.
So it's not really plants and mushrooms. It's more like if you had to cull a bunch of mushrooms so that a human could sprout from it and then plant more mushroom seeds.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
that's more-
That makes sense. That makes let's say there's poisonous mushrooms on your farm, and you want to have a kid,
Mm-hmm.
so you take off all the poisonous mushrooms, but no new trees will grow. But then when your kid is finally born, you can replant new, better mushrooms.
Yeah, your kid will plant more better mushrooms.
exactly.
Yeah, and that's
different
a more
ones that will
accurate one.
not be poisonous, and then stuff can grow again.
Yeah, yeah. The only reason that like they give the special exemption to humans is because they fought Thanos
Yeah, and technically,
and they won.
Thanos was like stopping the convergence or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So the real question is, do all lives really matter?
Just let that hang in the air for a bit.
That's the name of the episode. But
Oh no, we're gonna get the wrong
I
crowd.
love it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
How
Let's
do you
go.
call it? But
Okay, so I understand that. I understand that, right? How it's like, okay, is he really the bad guy? Technically, he's neutral. I would say up to a point. Arishem, because he's a judge,
Arishem?
and he could have destroyed the world. You saw
Yeah.
him fucking flex on them hoes
Yeah.
on Earth. It's like, finally, at least we stopped the convergence, and then you see, and he's like, "Sup, fool?
yeah,
Thought you were gonna get out of here? Come on!" And then he takes them all.
Yeah.
and then he goes,
you will be the evidence for or the
I
basically
will
the
look
lawyer
through
for
you. Yeah, I will look through your memories so that I can judge. Thump, gone, and everyone's
Yeah.
like, "What the
He's not
fuck
even like
was
just showing
that?"
it. He's taking the evidence into account.
It's like you show up to an anthill, pick out the queen, and then you walk away.
Yeah, it's like
That's the equivalent. Because to be fair, he could have murdered everyone.
he could have just reinstated Tiamat, murdered
He's
everyone
like,
else.
"Oh, you guys stop this? Nah, fool." But
Yeah.
because he saw all the effort they went through and the way they changed and grew when they weren't supposed to. That's the other thing. He's like, I designed the deviants so they could grow and they could cull the large monsters, but they grew too much and now they became the monsters.
Mm-hmm.
Eternals, you guys cannot grow. I'll reset your guys' memories. All that kind of stuff, right? So, oh fuck, where's it going with this? Oh yeah, so that's why he was able to pick them up and going, I will now judge. I will not kill anyone yet, because I can kind of say I don't want to say he's impartial, but he's definitely not a bad guy.
Yeah,
in
he's
the
not a
regular
bad
sense.
guy.
'Cause
in
he's
the
not
regular
evil.
sense, no.
If
But
you
he's
think
the
about it.
antagonist of the film.
He's
That's
the
what I would
antagonist
say.
of the film.
Like,
And of course.
that's what I was trying to say. Like, I didn't really mind the deviant being called off because they were expressly shown. Like, yes, while this deviant developed, the Eternals were always above him somehow. The one
guess.
time, the times where he did managed to kill other Eternals is because the Eternals were fighting with each other. Like
Yeah.
Icarus betrayed the leader
Ajax.
Ajax, and that's why the Deviant got her.
The healing powers.
Gilgamesh was kind of distracted and was kind of dealing with
A lot of stuff.
a lot of stuff, but in particular with Athena.
Athena, yeah, because she.
And that's why the demon got the drop on him. So he was always kind of shown as really weak compared to the
he had to
the
find
Eternals.
advantages to get to them.
Yeah.
And I mean, Mr. Well, no, yeah, because I was like, he's Mr. Heal All. How's he gonna heal the fucking head chop off? But
Yeah.
he probably won't because
No.
like. I mean, unless because they were pretty sure like he's dead now.
Yeah.
They made a point to show him all sliced up and so he's dead now.
Yeah.
But that last fight was fucking awesome.
It was
Dude,
super was.
Makari being a fucking speedster, amazing, dude. Real speedster against
Real
Superman.
speedster,
She was
yeah.
like, thum, thum, and. I swear, I thought she was gonna fucking die when they were like, "Oh, Icarus is against us," and then Icarus turns. I thought he was just gonna fucking murk her right there. 'Cause,
Yeah.
the problem with speedsters is they're too OP. So
Yeah.
you got to nerf them. Like in X-Men, they break Quicksilver's leg in the beginning, or they wrap him around, or
they
so-
do
stuff like
something.
that.
They do something to incapacitate it. But
You
'cause-
have to incapacitate the speedster because they would be too powerful.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you could just go, why didn't the speedster just do this? Why didn't the speedster just do that?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
he
yeah.
had a broken leg. He had a broken leg. Just break that
broken
real
leg.
quick.
Break,
Yeah.
break the leg. Break the leg.
Break the leg. Break his fucking leg.
And
Exactly.
how good the quality product is like how well you're able to take them out of the action.
Exactly.
Honestly, that's like the mark. Like if you have a speedster in your show or in your entertainment medium,
Yeah.
how well you can incapacitate them,
Or balance around the storyline.
balance
him.
around them. It shows the quality of the product because
Mm-hmm.
you could just say, "Oh yes, the speedster ran so fast that he tripped over a rock and broke his leg," and it's
Yeah.
like,
Come
"Okay,
on,
come on."
Yeah.
But then it's like, "Oh yeah, if they do something like, oh yeah, there was like a solar flare or something."
Or any other sort of
Anything
excuse
that's not
or,
like a contrivance, basically.
exactly.
If
If
you
it-
can take your speedster out of the action without it being a contrivance, that's
Yeah.
the mark of a good quality product.
Or it's not just like he was distracted. It's like distracted. He's got fucking superhuman
Yeah,
speed.
yeah.
Like that. That's my problem with the Flash TV show. We'll get into that next
Oh,
week.
dude.
Next
Oh,
week. Next
yeah,
week.
yeah,
Next.
yeah,
That's a
yeah.
whole nother episode.
Ooh.
But,
All right.
Okay, but the fight was so cool with Makari because the way she was using her speed, she wasn't like she was punching him and stuff, but the way she would go like thum 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 with
Yeah.
throwing the air shocks into him and it actually like blowing him back and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And then like I understand also how he was able to get a hold of her because he sees the pattern, which is like why he's a leader or whatever. He's so smart. He sees the pattern. He's so strong, and he sees the pattern and he like grabs her. And I was like, oh shit, now she's gonna die. Luckily, she didn't die. It was just Gilgamesh and
Yeah.
Ajax, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they only kill off
Gilgamesh and Ajax.
Ajax. But also the whole Sprite thing. The other thing with the other problem I had with Sprite was that the whole I'm in love with Icarus for my whole life. Like, where did that come from?
That was kind of random.
I understand that she's frustrated that she can't grow up because they show us that in the bar scene.
Yeah.
They show like, in the bar scene, she's flirting with some guy and the guy tries to touch her, but she's like, it's just an illusion. And he's like, huh? And she's like, yeah, too much drink and leaves. That's a frustration. I understand that, right? But then there was no sort of sprinkle or anything about Icarus. Nothing.
No.
Like if they had given us maybe like during the journey, maybe her like looking at them like jealous when they were like having fucking sex on the rocks, like
Yeah.
a straight up sex scene.
Straight up
The
fucking sex scene.
Eternals.
Yeah.
That food was raw dogging it.
Dude,
But yeah, I mean, like if they had shown like, or even like a flashback of her being like, I was jealous,
what that
and
just
then turns
reminds
around
me
and
of?
sees them holding hands or something, you know.
You know what? That kind of gets in my head.
What?
Arishem had to design the ability for them to do that.
Well, because he designed them to
No,
look
yeah, but like that means they have
he gave
sex
them
organs.
Yeah, because they couldn't know they weren't human or
But they did
sorry,
know.
I mean, sorry, they couldn't know that this wasn't like their first rodeo or whatever, you know. So whatever
Yeah, but then
feelings
why
that they
give them
gained for each
that
other,
bite?
because whatever feelings they gained for each other, they'd have to use to work together as a team.
I guess so. Yeah. But then
He gave him a pee-pee.
Yeah, he gave him a pee-pee. Like I don't understand. Like why? Like that's like such a like if you think about it, if you're designing
A
someone
robot.
a robot, you're designing a robot.
You're gonna give it a penis?
You're gonna give it a penis?
I guess. Yeah, he could have just made them all asexual androids, but
Yeah. Like
Eh.
legitimately, there was no real reason for them to all.
yeah. If he's all concerned about them evolving, why is he giving them reproductive organs?
Yeah, exactly. It is a little weird.
He could have just made them
Like,
smooth down there like Barbies, or maybe he had already made them smooth and they had failed because they weren't able to get their frustrations out.
True. Maybe.
They were like,
But
"How
then
are we
why
supposed to
design them
do
with those
stuff?"
frustrations in the first place? If they
Yeah,
don't, if you don't design them
with
with
the
sex
hormones?
organs, why would you give
No
them
hormones.
He's like, here's the thing. He's making them from scratch. There's nothing. he has to implement those emotions. He has to implement those organs.
Yeah.
He's the one making those decisions. Why is he making those decisions?
Maybe to give them the concept of free will. Because if you think of it, they're like, wait, we don't have free will? Wait, are we doing this all for a master? Oh, no. And then they rebel. Maybe he thought that. But if he gives them the illusion of free will.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
then he tells them, hey, you're not all free will. Time to wipe you. Whoop, whoop. So, yeah, you give them the illusion of free will, the illusion to do whatever they want so they can fall in love, do whatever they want. And then they come back. Because in your head, it's like, I'll let my Sims run and do whatever because I'm just going to reset the PC anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's probably what he was thinking. But then it grew too much. I saw this post where a guy was like, my Sims went to computer science school and they found out they were in a simulation. So I just unplugged the computer. They proved it.
They proved they weren't in a simulation.